For all type of video and audio transfers on DVDs or CDs, please contact Joe Borg on 0414 429 391. Gday Maltaussies show. I'm Joe Borg and I'm going to be with you for another week, and I trust that you're going to enjoy the show. If you look at the picture of the website, you see the arrow flashing. When you go on the website, that's the button, the I, that you need to click on, not the other one. Sunday, we're going to have bingo at the Hamroom Club, 100 Jackson Street, Marsden Park. We're going to have free muffins, coffee, or tea, and we have 15 games, and you win good prizes, which is money. So, all electronically, computerized. So when you come, enjoy playing the games, and you win some money. Who knows? See you at 3:30. On behalf of myself and the crew, we wish you all a prosperous new year in good health and happiness. We're going to open the show with a song by The Extent, Father Christmas.
سلة فوق سلتها عدي يجري دقس الريخ بقنيته بعيدانية صورته مبرفلة إزدا سبيخ تكتب السيمة حلوة تسكر سرقت مليون قلوب تطفال البيس أغمر ببرينا قالوا بزون يخسف تدفينا من فوق مونتاني واليت من جول الخولة والبليت هاللخة تبرقة مسمويت يعديز من المليت يفرط طريقته فوق البيوت يتكشكر من جوت شمية وتحت السجرة المليت يبقى جي رجال عليا جوجاريلي الكل حال الكل طفل الكل طفلة جوجاريلي كبار وزار ست شريف يجبدوله سلطة وبهالزفة في الستير lejn xi pajjiż ieħor falwara jistennew bil-kbir.
I'm going to show you a part that Emmanuel BRINCAT from Melbourne, he filmed, and the narration that he did. Enjoy.
Joe insellimlek. Nan l-4 17 ta' Deċembru kelli l-okkażjoni li mmur nara prasepju u display ta' dara wek. L-okkażjoni ġiet għax għandi persuna għal-familja li toqgħod Sydney u qiegħda f'Melbourne għal xi ftit tal-jiem. Morna fid-dar ta' Charlie u Vera Sacco li joqogħdu Glenroy. Id-dar tagħhom kif qed tarawha fuq dan il-filmati. Tistaġbu, m'hemmx post għal iżjed xogħol li Charlie u Vera Sacco joħolqu f'dawn iż-żminijiet tal-miliet. Kif qed taraw? Totalment il-backyard mimli. Issa din mhux blokka żgħira tal-lum il-ġurnata, blokka mill-antiki. Voldiri 800 square meters ta' blokka bid-dar kollox. Il-backyard mimli. Id-driveway mimlija bid-dekorazzjonijiet. Il-garax ippakkjat u juri il-belt ta' Betlem kif ukoll il-prasepju tradizzjonali Malti. Tieħu pjaċir tara l-kuluri kollha differenti. Kif qed taraw f'dawn il-filmati. Joe titaġġeb meta qed turi dan ix-xogħol ta' Charlie u Vera Sacco. Charlie u Vera idumu xarej u nofs. Jipplanjaw u jarmaw dan ix-xogħol. Għandu fuq 400 biċċa ta' l-elettriku għad-display ta' kulħadd. Il-kuluri fenomenali. Unkomplu naraw daw il-filmat li jien ħadd meta morna naraw din id-dar. Edin barra, id-driveway bil-kull kwalità ta' dawl. Il-lon ta' qoddim ma jeżistix għax ikkaverjat bid-decorations li jien ħadd pjaċir nieħu l-film tagħhom. Kull oġġett li tista' semmi li għandu x'jaqsam mal-miliet jidher f'dawn il-filmati u x'ingħidu għat-tfal u għan-nies li jiġu jaraw mid-9 ta' bil-lejl sa 11 u nofs ta' bil-lejl sa 23 ta' dan ix-xahar. Taraw dawk li joqogħdu speċjalment f'Melbourne. Ejjew u waraw l-indirizz hu 31 Evel Street, Glenroy. U kif diġà semmejt, il-ħin hu mid-9 ta' filgħaxija sa 11 u nofs ta' bil-lejl. Tieħdu pjaċir u tistaġbu. ċali għandu l-interess u l-imħabba tal-miliet u blajnuna ta' martu vera huma jiddekoraw dak kollu li qed taraw. Ġew wasanna fil-filmati ta' driveway. Għandawar il-kamera wkoll ħanuri dak in-neon li qiegħed issa nifoka fuqu. Merry Christmas jgħid dak in-neon li dan ix-xogħol li qed taraw kollu ippreparaħ u armaħ ċali blajnuna ta' martu vera. Emmi, Merry Christmas lil kulħadd u hija tema sabiħa għal dawn iż-żminijiet fejn id-dinja hekk imħawda. Min-naħa tiegħi ġew lilek lil EMMANUEL li huwa miegħek fil-programmi ta' dan ix-xogħol li inti prepara l-istess u lill-familja tiegħek tislijiet minn Melbourne. Awguri għal-miliet, ħini mal-familja u nixtiequlkom ukoll kemm lilek ġew lill-familja kollha tiegħek u dawk kollha li jaraw ix-xogħol tiegħek. L-isbaħ xewqat għal sena ġdida ta' prosperità u imħabba bejn il-familji. Awguri ġew u nispera li dan ix-xogħol jintoġob. Manuel BRINCAT għal darb'oħra isellmilkom minn Melbourne.
Malta, hidden secret that when you travel to Malta, you haven't been told.
You can walk through the buildings, climb the rickety porches, even watch actors perform songs or dress up like cartoon characters. It's weird, it's wonderful, and it somehow fits perfectly against the cliffs and turquoise water. But if you're not into shows or cheesy photo ops, there's something else. The view from above. From the cliffs looking down, Popeye Village becomes a perfect film set again, frozen in time, staged against one of the most stunning bays in Malta. It's not ancient, it's not sacred, but it's fun, bizarre, and completely unforgettable. Sweeney Bay. From a distance, Sweeney Bay looks like just another quiet stretch of coast. But there's something carved into the landscape here, something that's been shaped by hand for hundreds of years. You probably wouldn't notice it at first, but once you do, you'll never see this bay the same way again. Set along Gozo's northern shoreline, Sweeney Bay is calm, simple, and surprisingly empty. There's no sand, just flat limestone and shallow water that gently laps against the edge. It's the kind of place where nothing seems to happen, and that's exactly why people come here. The cliffs nearby feel ancient and untouched. Fishermen launch small boats from the curve of the bay. Locals walk their dogs. The silence here feels almost intentional. But if you start walking along the coast, something strange catches your eye. The rock beneath your feet suddenly shifts from natural to patterned, lined, almost like stone tiles arranged by design. These are the carvings I mentioned, the ones shaped by hand, century after century. What you're seeing aren't random formations. They're salt pans carved into the stone and still used today to harvest sea salt the traditional way. Generations of families have worked this same patch of coastline, collecting salt from sun-dried pools in the rock. You might even spot someone out there, dragging a wooden rake through the shallows, just like it's been done for centuries. So no, Gday Bay isn't just another quiet spot. It's one of the oldest working coastlines on the island. A place shaped not just by nature, but by people, slowly, patiently, and with a rhythm that hasn't changed in hundreds of years. Wied il-Qasri. There's a place where the sea squeezes between the cliffs, so narrow it almost doesn't look real. You'd never guess what's waiting at the end of it. Wied il-Qasri is a narrow sea canyon that slices deep into the coastline, flanked by steep, pale limestone walls. It was carved over centuries, shaped slowly by rain and sea, cutting its way inland like nature tracing a secret path. The water here is unusually clear and calm, and when the sun hits just right, the canyon glows in soft blues and silvers. But that calm can change fast. On windy days, waves crash deep into the gorge, echoing off the stone, turning stillness into sudden power. When it's quiet, though, it's a favorite for swimming, snorkeling, and free diving, a place where the world feels muffled and slowed down. Some even come for cliff jumping, though the sharp angles make it unpredictable. There are no shops here, no sunbeds, no noise. The spot is hard to find, and the path isn't marked. That's probably why even in summer, it's often just you and the sound of the sea. And then, if you follow the gorge all the way to its end, past the turns, past the narrowest stretch, you find it. A tiny, hidden pebble beach, completely walled in by cliffs. No fanfare, no crowds, just this secret pocket of stillness, waiting for the few who make it all the way. Some say locals once collected salt here before easier routes opened up. But today, it's something different. Wied il-Qasri isn't just a canyon, it's a path, a tunnel. A quiet reward carved by time and meant for those who don't stop halfway. Valletta. It might look like a city built for beauty, but Valletta was designed for war. And if you don't know the reason why yet, don't worry, you'll understand soon enough. From a distance, Valletta glows with color and elegance, bright balconies, golden limestone, narrow streets that feel made for wandering. But beneath that charm is a city with a very different purpose. In 1565, Malta was attacked by the Ottoman Empire during what became known as the Great Siege, one of the most brutal battles in the island's history. The Knights of St. John defended Malta and won, but just barely. And they knew one thing for sure: if the Ottomans came back, they wouldn't survive without a proper stronghold. So the very next year, in 1566, they began building Valletta from the ground up as a fortified city designed to repel future invasions.
IL-KAZIN, the club. It's a debate about the drugs continue with your host, John MALLIA.
Tintendi low threshold service huwa diffiċli.
Ma fimtekx, ta'
low threshold service.
Da li semmejt
L-istess li
l-ukoll.
qed Karen.
low threshold.
Però huwa diffiċli ħafna biex timmenjah biex so hemm
Tax li Malta
komplikazzjoni.
il-problema ma dix daqsek l-eroina, le?
Le.
Hija ma affarijiet oħrajn. Mela,
L-eroina għadha problema.
għadha problema, però inqas milli kienet 10 snin.
it-trend qed tinbidel bil-mod iva.
Mela,
Jew blaġla, insomma.
se narawkom wara l-break. Intom, ivvutaw. Wara l-break. Il-KAZIN se jkun ħafna affarijiet.
Jienu t-tim tiegħi nagħmlu l-almu tagħna biex nagħtukom dibattiti riċerkati u mqanqlin kemm jista' jkun. Jekk qed tieħu gost tara il-KAZIN inħeġġek biex tmur fil-ħolqa tawn taħt il-kazin.mt/talk issa biex tkun tista' tagħmel abbonament għax il-KAZIN joħroġ kull nhar ta' ġimgħa fid-29 fuq Talkis u inti tista' raħ fuq il-mobile, fuq il-smart TV, fuq il-laptop. Għaldaqstant żur dil-ħolqa biex kull nhar ta' ġimgħa tkun tista' issegwina fil-KAZIN.
Il-KAZIN jista' jkun ħafna affarijiet. Qed nindumna kemm inħossni skomdu meta jkun hemm applaws. Naħseb li għandi bżonn nkellem naqgħod terapista fuq għadi. Mela nfakkar li l-mistoqsija tal-lum hija għandna nfittxu li jkollna soċjetà fejn in-nies jużaw inqas id-droga, jekk mhux qegħdin fil-KAZIN, tagħmal qegħdin fuq il-paġna tal-Facebook tagħna fejn intom qed titfgħu wkoll il-vot tagħkom u l-KAZIN ivvota hekk. 70% qalu iva, 22% qalu le, filwaqt li 8% għadhom qed jaħsbuha. Met, inti għamiltu rehab, għamilta l-esperjenza ta' rehab. X'tista' tgħidilna dwarha dik l-esperjenza?
Għalija kienet limitata, jiena bdejt nirreabilta ruħi mill-ħabs. Tlabtom iġibuli kotba, journal u penna u bdejt nirreabilta ruħi minn hemmhekk. U kont applikajt biex nidħol rehab qabel ma nqatat li sentenza, ġifieri għas kienu jafu li ġa applikajt biex nidħol. Rehab kont għamilt 4 xhur.
Il-proċess qabel ma dħalt ir-rehab, ġifieri meta kont qed tagħmel dal-proċess li taqra, kif kont taf l-imkodba għandek taqra?
Iktar milli naqra li bdejt nikteb u l-kitba fiha din il-poter fiha. Tibni relazzjoni ma dak li Malla tista' tgħidu, sejjaħlu li trid Malla l-univers miegħek innifsek. U tibda ġejja ċertu informazzjoni minn ġewwa, kontemplazzjoni, riflessjoni, u bekk qed ittik ċertu direzzjoni tal-imiet jiena taħdem fuq hekk.
Tirrefletti b'mod li forsi qabel ma kellix ikollok ċans tirrefletti?
ċipo ġieli fidejja il-diarju li kont nikteb ta' meta kont nuża. Ġifieri meta kont nuża wkoll kont xtrajt kotba bħal Nietzsche per każu. Ġifieri moħħi waqt li kont qed nuża xorta xi ħaġa hemmhekk kienet qiegħda. Mbagħad ovvjament kif bdejt niklinja mid-droga ġol ħabs. Bdiġġeja iktar diċċarizza u ovvjament kien ikolli iktar enerġija u awareness biex nikteb u nibda nirreabilita ruħi.
Tista' hekk b'mod konċis għax dan mhux podcast biex tgħidilna x'sibt ġewwa ruħek inti u tħaffer. Jekk jista' jkun sentenza waħda.
Dal-għodu ktib ċaġa fuqa, naħseb meta kon żejr ħarist u bżajt. Laqtu, mortem barra infittex, ma insejt li kont qed infittex dak li kont talaqt. U l-lum il-ġurnata ftaħtu.
Għalfej kien ibeżżak? Għalfej kien ibeżżak?
Għax naħseb jew Nietzsche jew Jung jgħidha, if you stare at the abyss long enough, the abyss is going to stare back at you.
Jung.
U ġieli kelli l-aħħar retreat li kont fiha retreat tal-ayahuasca nagħmlu sharing circle. U ovvjament kien hemm min li jiġi in touch ma' di xi ħaġa ġo fih ma' ruħu li ovvjament ruħek ħatorik x'inhu Alla u jibżaw. U l-xogħol tiegħi hemmhekk u li ngħidilhom li isma' tibqax tiġri, tibqax tfittex, imma embracea dak il-poter. Għax il-poter illum il-ġurnata ngħidu l-poter huwa ħażin. Imma
Poter skonx tagħmel bih.
Skonx tagħmel bih.
Għax jeżisti.
Skonx tagħmel bih.
Għax jeżisti.
Ma meta tħares u tħoss l-infinit, tgħid dan huwa possibbli, imma huwa possibbli.
Sawek, per eżempju, qed naraw drug use in a ritualistic setting. Ġifieri meta nitkellmu fuq drogi ħafna drabi ninsew li it's a mix of drug, set and setting. F'dal każ qed isir for therapeutic purposes, ġifieri min imur ayahuasca retreat, qed purposely jieħu ċertu pjanti in a spiritual setting to deal with certain personal issues. U ħafna drabi l-użu ta' drogi.
Per eżempju ċaġa bħala ayahuasca għandha bżonn li tkun issanzjonata mill-istat li jkollok nies li b'xi mod l-istat ikun jaf x'jagħmlu x'inhi l-expertise tagħhom.
Daqsxejn diffiċli għax inti hemmhekk għandek a ritualistic setup.
Però għandek pjanta li hija b'saħħitha.
Għandek a mix of plants, forsi met jista' jispjega ħjar, ġifieri mhux wamba, ġifieri hemmhekk għandek sfortunatament illum il-ġurnata hawn gruppi li qed jagħmluha for commercial purposes u hemmhekk huwa l-ikbar riskju għaliex ħafna drabi jkollok nies qed jippużaw ta' xamans jew qegħdin ta' parsi.
Ma jistax ikun ukoll xaman li jinnaf forsi ma ħax training li kellu jieħu, u forse mux għax irid ifotti, forsi għax jinnaf.
Hemm institutions, per eżempju, hemm gruppi wkoll internazzjonali li jagħmlu training fuq kif inti tiddilja from a harm reduction approach in an ayahuasca setting.
Per eżempju, ayahuasca circle, inti tabib?
Jina ċittaru ħafna nisma daw l-affarijiet. Fin saħna pala setqa nattendu ħafna konferenzi barra minn Malta u jiena meta nar symposium fuq psychedelics u l-ewwel ħaġa li nkiteb għalih, to be honest, għaliex huma affarijiet vera affaxxinanti, ġifieri l-psikadeliċi, qed nitkellmu fuq jinnaf DMT li hemm fl-ayahuasca tajjeb, il-psilocybin, LSD, u anka to some degree ketamina tajjeb, u MDMA, ecstasy ukoll tajjeb. Kollha kemm huma illum il-ġurnata qegħdin jiġu studjati biex ikunu jassistu f'terapija, f'dożi vera kontrollati. Però jiena li dik hija l-importanti hemmhekk u li nifhmu tajjeb ġifieri li l-ayahuasca jew sustanzi oħrajn ikunu hemm barra użati minn terapisti illi forsi qed jużaw iktar għallat business tajjeb u ma jafux biżejjed x'inhu jistgħu jkunu konsegwenzi, hemmhekk hija problema. Mill-banda l-oħra jekk dawn it-trials li qed isiru bħalissa juru illi f'ċerta settings jistgħu jgħinu għal treatment resistant depression, per eżempju, jew PTSD, għal xiex le? Wara kollox fil-mediċina nużaw.
Qed naraw futur fej il-psikadeliċi jkunu aċċettati minnaħa tal-mainstream.
Dan is-suġġett għadu qed jiġi studjat, ġifieri qatt m'għandniex daqshekk informazzjoni li nistgħu nagħtu llum ċertu konklużjonijiet. Jiena jekk tippermettili mur fuq punt li laqatni immens li qal Matthew fuq l-istorja interessanti ferm tiegħu li jitkellem dwar il-ħabs. Il-post li aħna bħala Caritas inna ħafna snin ngħidu u aħna kontra li persuna dipendenti tibgħat għall-ħabs. Persuna li għandha problema u hija dipendenti, għandek tagħtiha l-għajnuna, għandek tħobba, għandek tirriabilità u anke turija terapiji kif jgħin lilha nnifisha.
For all type of video and audio transfers on DVDs or CDs, please contact Joe Borg on 0414 429 391. How Malta became a classic car paradise.
Why does Malta have such a massive love for classic cars?
Malta is a car nation. Car nation, not the flower, but a nation of cars.
Why are old machines here cherished the way that they are?
This is our classic car collection. They are all British,
and sort of it's me and my father club.
Why do the Maltese use classic cars to preserve the past and pass on their legacy to future generations?
I believe that once I'm gone, I'll leave something for my kids rather than a few euros, something that they can look at and something that they say, my father did that or had that.
A country where old machines are treasured and used in equal measure, from the everyday workhorse to more exotic cars. A country where you're never too far from pristine metal and people admiring them. And where you never know what treasures await in plain sight or buried deep below the ground. Welcome to Malta, the land of the classic car. Malta, a tiny archipelago nestled in the Mediterranean Sea, where the sun shines nearly all year round, where history and culture peek out around every corner, and where cars seem to reign supreme. It's estimated that Malta has one of the highest cars-to-people ratios in the world.
In Malta, there has always been love for cars. It's a small island, but I can assure you that there are lots of hidden treasures in Malta. Mostly British cars, I would say. The reason being that we were much more used to British cars. The first importation of cars came from the UK.
Much of Malta's motoring history is linked to Britain. The Maltese drive on the left-hand side of the road in right-hand drive machines, the result of being a former British colony. Maltese streetscapes once almost exclusively featured imported vehicles from the UK, a lot of which survive today. Whether it's those iconic Bedford buses that can still be spotted ferrying tourists around, or old British classics that still find space on Maltese roads and in the hearts and garages of classic car enthusiasts.
Obviously, we come from the English background, being a former English colony, which a lot of people know that UK is the home of motorsport, basically. I think something was left here.
A lot of British servicemen, they used to get some nice sports cars to Malta, okay? And with these people, sometimes when there is a small fault or something like that, sometimes they didn't even bother to fix them. And they used to sell them at a relatively cheap price where the Maltese could gain them. Obviously the Maltese, they were always good at fixing these cars. Probably, as they say, necessity was the mother of inventions, and they used to fix these cars and enjoy them for some time. And it was practically the only cars that they were available.
Tucked away in what was once an ice cream factory is evidence of one family's love for British cars.
It's sort of a nostalgia getting the British cars here in Malta because as we were a British colony, the British cars are more popular.
Aldo Patch and his father Tony Patch's fondness for British machines has led to this, a private collection that they've fondly dubbed the British Classics Garage Malta. Their first project car was a 1957 Morris Cowley, originally a pickup truck converted into a van in Malta. That set the ball rolling. Soon they acquired a Hillman Minx, an MGB, a Triumph Spitfire, a Ford of Britain Consul, a Cortina, a Capri, a Morris Minor 1000, and a 1948 Triumph Roadster. These machines aren't just cars, they're vital members of the Patch clan.
A good percentage of the Maltese people tend to get their cars, or used to at least, as part of the family. They were expensive to buy. I think they were almost the price of a small house back in the 50s and 60s. You have to treasure it because it was sort of an investment for half your life.
An investment cherished and passed on to the next generation as well.
The best thing for me is that I know that he take care of them, and when I die, I leave it to him.
In fact, keeping cars in the family seems to be a recurring theme in Malta. Mark Galea curates the Malta Classic Car Collection. What started out as his late father Carol Galea's private car collection has now transformed into a place of pilgrimage for car enthusiasts. Even here, among more exotic machines, it's the story of a family car that stands out.
So basically, this one is an Austin A40 Somerset. It is rare, but it's not a special car or a car that costs a lot of money. But it has a very good story to it.
Years ago, when Mark's father was trying to procure a Jaguar E-Type from the UK, he got distracted by an Austin. Since his parents owned one when he was a little boy in Malta,
so this is my dad.
He decided to buy it.
We went to see it and he said, my God, it looks absolutely identical. So we arrived at a decision and we bought it and we got it here. Only to get to know when we came to register it, it was the same car. And this is an absolute miracle. It gives me goosebumps every time I say the story, basically, because what are the odds? So this is the one car that I will never sell, obviously.
Even in other garages that boast truly rare and expensive cars, it's those with a family connection that end up tugging at the heartstrings.
It's not a very valuable car, but it has a lot of sentimental value. This used to be my father's car 40 years ago, so every time I come in here, I remember my father, who passed away 20 years ago.
Anthony Camilleri began collecting classic cars when he retired in 2016. It started with a 1952 Jaguar XK120 fixed-head coupe, which was in a state of disrepair in the US. Bringing the car to Malta took almost 2 years, and the restoration took a further 18 months.
This is how the car arrived in Malta. Look at the interior. Nothing existed. But it was in California, it was a dry car. All the parts were in boxes, brakes, carburetors, dashboard. That's the engine being stripped. It was my first attempt at restoring a car. I've never done this before. Although I'm an engineer by profession, but I've never restored a car before. It was a nice project. You only do it once, because it was a lot of work, 18 months of working full-time, but it was worth doing.
Perhaps a corollary of being Maltese, Anthony couldn't stop at just one classic car.
My wife's idea was to get cars from every decade. So we started with pre-war cars from the 20s, 30s, then we went on to the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, but it was very difficult to find a 1940s car. The reason was because of the war during the late 30s. And in the 40s, very few cars were built.
But every classic car collection must have a crown jewel, and for Anthony, it's his 1947 Sunbeam Talbot 2-liter drop-head coupe.
The Sunbeam Talbot here has a lot of history. It's a car that was owned by the first owner for over 40 years. I have pictures of Princess Elizabeth in 1948 during a car show in Coventry. This car was restored in 1995, and it's still with the same paint that was given in 1995. All I had to do when I got the car was recondition, sanded, and revarnished the wood. Otherwise, as regards the paint is still from 1995, and it's still in very good condition. The car has 35,000 genuine miles from 1947, and I've got a log of all the mileage every year. As I said, 51 of these were built after the war, between 1947 and 1948, and then they stopped production. And this is one of the 51, and one of the only 4 known to exist.
But what's clear about the Maltese love for classics is that a car doesn't need to be rare, expensive, or exotic in order to be treasured.
It's iconic British Morris Minor. It was a family car, a worker's car,
We're not speaking about a Jaguar or a Daimler or a Mercedes. Just a common family car. Not too expensive, but reliable.
الراجل TAL-KLIEB, the dog man.
Jarġa jamila, inni ma norqod sew żmien ħabba l-qrid tiegħu. Aħjar għani, mor orqod miegħu jettri, titla, mor waqfu, għadek hemm, riqet. Inġibtu, u inġibtu ħsibu, itlaqu. L-ġin li tħobbint kważi lest, kemm jiksaħ ftit.
Ġew kienu emmini.
Trini żgur ma norqod xejn bitnejn jien hawn. Ma nistgħux insommu tnejn. Barra l-istorbju l-ikel tagħhom jiswa ħafna. ادخلوا الجو ادخلوا الجو ادخلوا الجو عتنيدلكم.
Jina u ibni nagħtu ħafna valur lill-klieb. Imma għadna kemm xtrajna dan is-sabiħ. U ma tantx għandna ħin għalih. Toqgħodx tinkwieta. Ikel inġibulek aħna. Kollu spiża fuqna u niġu nżuruh ta' spiss ukoll. Dispeċini. Le ħabib, tagħmilx hekk. Aħna ħabib. Grazie.
Ejja, kulu, gawdu ħan. Għandkom issa, Bissa toqgħodu bil-ġuħ iktar, bissa toqgħodu bil-ġuħ.
Good boy. Look at that kid.
Inħoss li rrid ngħidilkom li millum il-qudiem ma se jkun possibbli nibqa' noħroġkom daqskemm kont noħroġkom qabel. M'għaddix li kont għax għandi l-enerġija li kelli. Ma madankollu ma rridx li jien nonqoskom minn xejn. Intom l-eżis ħbib tiegħi. Rrid tibqgħu kreaturi sbieħ li intom. Ftakru dak li konna jieħdu gost nagħmlu fl-imkien. Kontu l-uniku kumpanija li kelli.
The unexplained, massive, ancient cemetery in Malta.
Paola, Malta, 1902. While excavating an area for a new housing development just off the eastern coast of this tiny Mediterranean island, construction workers encounter something unexpected and quite unusual beneath their work site. A prehistoric structure hewn from solid limestone, dating back more than 5,000 years. Upon further inspection, archaeologists soon realize that what the unwitting workers have unearthed isn't merely a lost underground temple or ancient sanctuary, but a massive, subterranean necropolis, the hypogeum of Hal Saflieni.
The Malta Hypogeum is an architectural wonder of the ancient world. It was carved using primarily stone and bone tools by an ancient population that lived on Malta thousands of years ago. So it's actually older than the pyramids of Egypt or Stonehenge.
Hypogeum is basically a word that comes from the Greek terms for cavity or space underground. It extends on 3 different stories, about 7-point-some meters below ground. It covers an area of about 5,400 square feet.
Malta's Hypogeum is, one of those great examples of beautiful geometry underground. So the geometry isn't by accident. It was done by somebody who knows what they were doing. And it looks to me like, this was done for a purpose.
A purpose? Although no one knows for certain who originally built the Malta Hypogeum or why. The bones of more than 7,000 souls line its intricate labyrinth of corridors and alcoves. So, according to logic, it is exactly what it appears to be, an ancient burial site. But logic alone may not be at play here.
There's a very intriguing room in the Hypogeum, which is in the middle level, that is called the Oracle Room. And this Oracle Room is basically a resonance chamber. And it's designed, so it would seem, to amplify any acoustic sound waves. So even by whispering, for example, the design of the room amplifies this and makes it into a very loud baritone sound.
In 2014, while conducting a series of experiments in an attempt to understand the design elements behind the Hypogeum's unusual acoustics, scientists discovered an unexpected and hair-raising phenomenon.
We set up microphones and we used recording devices that were very sensitive, and we carried out experiments using the human voice in that 110 to 112 hertz range. So these are very low, guttural bass sounds, and they reverberate in a very strong way within these temples.
It's extraordinary. It's like being inside of a bell. Those vibrations are felt inside your body. You feel it in your tissue, you feel it in your bones. You can raise the hair off the back of your neck. Imagine going there to this dark and spooky underground place 5,000 years ago with this weird, eerie sound going on around you. And
Promo of the New Year's Eve for this year, 2025. The Hambrun Club organizing the New Year's Eve dinner ball at 100 Jackson Street, Marsden Park, Wednesday, 31st of December. Enjoy a 4-course dinner, including beer, spirits, wine, and soft drinks. Entertainment by Charlie Muscat. Donation $65 per person if you remember. If you not remember, $70 per person. For more details, please give me a ring on 0414-429-391. The Committee of St. Paul Feast at Richmond in here at New South Wales, organizing the St. Paul Feast, Saturday, 17th of January, at St. Monica Catholic Church, 1A Berg Street, Richmond, New South Wales. Mass will commence at 5:30 p.m., followed by a procession. After the procession, you are all welcome to join in for the fun. There will be Maltese concert band, barbecue, pasticci, and traditional Maltese biscuits, chocolate whale, and lots of prizes. Go and enjoy yourself. All welcome. Sunday, we're gonna have bingo at the Hamroom Club, 100 Jackson Street, Marsden Park. We're gonna have free muffins, coffee, or tea, and we have 15 games, and you win good prizes, which is money. So, all electronically, computerized. So when you come, enjoy playing the games, and you win some money. Who knows? See you at 3:30. On behalf of myself and the Gday Maltaussies show crew, we wish all our viewers and their families a prosperous new year. God bless. I trust that you'll enjoy the show, and until we meet again next week, God bless. Good day, Maltausies show. For all type of video and audio transfers on DVDs or CDs, please contact Joe Borg on 0414 429 391.